Hey everyone, Bodie Morningway here from Quantum Comics, your friendly neighborhood comic book store here in Camrose, Alberta. So, it's been a while since I've done one of these YouTube videos, so we will get right to it, shall we? So what I wanted to speak about today, and hopefully not say so many times, right, is a comic that I was not expecting to be particularly awesome, but was pleasantly surprised by. And that comic is none other than Lois Lane #1. Now, this is actually the first of a 12-issue maxi series, which kind of surprised me. I mean, Lois Lane is a long-running character, but she's generally as a support character for Superman. Sure, she's probably one of the biggest support characters that you will ever find in comic books. I mean, who doesn't know Lois Lane, right? If she's not falling off a building, she's being rescued by Superman some way, and at least that's how she was initially portrayed. But over the past, I'd say, probably 30 years, she's come into a new light. She's not that same Lois Lane that the generation previous to mine, granted that's going back a little ways, is familiar with. She's now a very intelligent, brave, and tenacious reporter, which is huge for comics, I think. And after reading this comic, she definitely can carry her own series. It is really engaging. It's very clever. Greg Rucka does an awesome job of portraying just the type of individual that Lois Lane is, and the relationship that she has with Clark Kent, of course, Superman. The artwork by Perkins. What is Perkins' first name? I don't even know what his first name is, but it's pretty decent. It's reminiscent of probably reminiscent of Brian Hitch when he was doing Ultimates way back when. It's Mike Perkins. And it's really decent. Here you can see some in the end there. It's a decent, solid book, and it's a good read. You don't stop midway and get distracted by other things. It's very engaging. The storyline is quick and strong, but it's not so quick that you can read it in 5 minutes. There's a lot of hints at where the story is going without giving everything away, because sometimes you read something and you know exactly where it's going, you know exactly what's happening, and this is not the case with this one. You've got some really great, it's got a darker tone, but yet not so dark as to be depressing, because you get some comics that are just outrageously depressing. But what I was worried about when I saw this was a 12-issue series was, although it's interesting to see Lois Lane, like a few panels when it comes to the Superman comics, Action or Superman or Adventures of or what have you, but to carry not just one whole issue, but 12, I was starting to think to myself, how are they going to do this? But it's a really intriguing in that they compare her particular art of journalism to that of spycraft, and they make all sorts of allusions to that. Perhaps allusions is not the best word, but it's the first one that popped into my mind. They go through several different iterations of that within this comic, and it's very engaging. The Question also has a prominent role to play in this, and I think will continue in the future. It is the Ray Montoya Question, which is the newer version of the Question as the classic Question. Well, it's a bit ambiguous because he did end up dying in either, I believe it was the New 52, but then I swear that I saw him come back sometime during Rebirth. So now, I guess the question is whether or not there's more than one Question. But for this series anyway, it is the Renee Montoya, the female Question, which works fine. I mean, they both have that same odd pragmatism where they want to get towards the truth by almost any means necessary. The Renee Montoya question is more straightforward than the Victor Sage question, who tended to get caught up in a lot of his conspiracy theories, right? Which was entertaining, but could also really lead you down a whole bunch of rabbit holes. And for this one, I think Rucka just wanted the more straightforward question, so he went with that one. And I think that's a great idea. This is, as I said, a very engaging comic, and I strongly suggest that you guys pick it up. Give it a chance. It's really, really good. All right, that's it for today. So long, Space Cowboys.